Hi guys, and welcome back to Project Motor Racing. Today we're going to talk about what really works best in this game, a steering wheel or a controller. I only use a controller, so that's what we'll be focusing on here. The big question is, can you actually drive Project Motor Racing properly with a controller? In some of the recent videos, I've seen a lot of comments saying you can't play this game on a controller, that it's basically impossible. So, today, we're going to put that to the test and see if that's actually true, or if they might be wrong. We're going to run 3 or 4 laps here, and by the 4th lap we should have a good idea of how the car feels and whether this game is actually playable on a controller. For this test, I've got traction control set to 10 and ABS set to 3. If the traction is down at 1 or 3, there's just no chance the car spins constantly, and let's be honest, that's not enjoyable at all, especially on a controller. So today's test track is the famous Zolder. Sadly, this is also the circuit where Gilles Villeneuve lost his life while driving for Ferrari, so it's a track with a lot of history and meaning in motorsport. As we come up to the chicane, the tyres are still cold. I brake at my usual marker, but the car just doesn't want to stop straight on into the gravel and out the other side. That really shows how much the cold tyres affect braking in this game. And with that, the tyres are still stone cold, and I just lose it completely straight into the barrier. Trying to get back on track, I hit the grass, lose control again, and clip another car. Absolute clanger from me, but there's just no grip at all at this point. Cold tyres really punish you here. So far, honestly, the controller just isn't working. With cold tyres and how sensitive the car is, it's really hard to keep things under control, and it's not feeling very forgiving at all. Alright, we're coming to the end of lap 1 now. Let's see if lap 2 feels any better once the tyres start to come in. Alright, let's jump on board the Porsche GT3 now at the amazing Circuit Zolder and see how this one feels in comparison. Turn 1 straight away, we've still got no grip, the car just understeers wide on entry. Turn 2 is pretty much the same story, still pushing on and not wanting to rotate. Then, through turn 3, which normally should be flat, I actually have to lift because the front just isn't biting the way you'd expect. Now, heading into the chicane, can I brake at my usual marker? The answer is no, straight on into the gravel again. Alright, let's move on to lap 4 now. We're tucked in behind 2 other cars, so let's see if we can keep up with them and how the controller copes in close racing. Okay, that's much better now. The tyres are finally up to temperature, I can actually push the car and the understeer has almost completely gone. With the tyres warm, the controller actually feels fine, everything's a lot more predictable and manageable now. Now for the chicane, this is where I've gone straight on every single time so far. How's it going to be this time? Perfect, absolutely nailed it. Alright, coming to the end of lap 4 now, and honestly, you can use this game with a controller, no problem at all. This game takes patience and a change in driving style, it's all about how you drive it. They haven't made this arcade-like, they've clearly gone for something closer to how a real car behaves, and that's fair enough. Yes, the traction control feels a bit too aggressive right now and definitely needs some work, but overall, the experience is solid. And once the tyres are up to temperature, you can absolutely race with a controller. So now, sit back and watch this onboard lap all driven on a controller. Alright, so to sum everything up, Project Motor Racing can absolutely be played with a controller. It's not easy at first, and it definitely isn't arcade style, but that's kind of the point. The game rewards patience, smooth inputs, and letting the tyres come up to temperature before you really start pushing. Early on, especially with cold tyres, it can feel rough and unforgiving, and the traction control does feel a bit too aggressive right now, which is something that needs looking at. But once you adapt your driving style and give the car time to settle, the controller works just fine and you can race properly. So no, it's not impossible, you just have to drive it like a real car. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments whether you're using a wheel or a controller and how you're finding the game so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.